We are back on MorningLine. Nick Barris this morning, and I'll tell you about these in a second. Holly Ladd is so nice. She is a health and holistic coach. And we're talking about different things you can eat. And okay, we talked about the cavemen, nuts and berries. Nuts are awesome. Talk to me about nuts, and talk to me about this little gift you brought me. All right, I'm already eating them. They're yummy. Can you see them here, Rick? I don't know. They're in this bag, and they're cashews. And okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so let's just get to nuts. Nuts are a fantastic source of good oils, good fats, protein. They're filling, they're crunchy. They really serve a lot of purposes for us in terms of healthy snacking in society. Now, I advocate in the holidays to always have a healthy snack with you so that when you're shopping, when you're at the mall and you have that crash because you're freaking out because you can't find the perfect gift, and you smell the Cinnabon lingering, that you have an option in your purse that's healthy that you can just eat and not go for the Cinnabon. So one of the things that I have in the holidays, because I think that are really appropriate for the fall and winter, the flavors are these curried cashews.
Oh, it's so good.
I got the recipe from eatingwell.com, which is a great website for healthy recipes. And basically, you just take raw cashews, curry powder, lemon juice, and some sea salt. Okay. Mix it all together. Throw it in on a cookie sheet and bake it at 250 degrees for 45 minutes.
But the raw cashews that you buy, I mean, so have they been cooked or roasted yet?
No, they're just
literally
raw.
Out of the shell. So they're raw, so they need to be. I guess you could eat them that way.
You can eat them raw, but
lay them out on the pan, about 250, you said?
Yeah, so you mix six, super easy. You mix 6 tablespoons of curry powder, 6 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon juice, 4 teaspoons of sea salt. Mix that into a paste, throw in the cashews and get it all together. Put it on the baking sheet at 250 for 45 minutes.
Absolutely outstanding.
You know, you have yourself a great snack.
They're really good. And I can think of all different ways where if you wanted to add other stuff, curry's fantastic. You could probably do that, even though I don't like it as much. Turmeric, if you mixed it with other things, which is very good for you. Now, the one thing we should say about nuts, and we're going to get to the phone calls here, is that they're very nutritious and they're good for you. But a little bag of nuts and a bag of potato chips, nuts have, you don't want to go ape on it, all right? They have fat in it.
Yes.
And in fact, they'll have more fat probably than that bag of potato chips. The difference is that they have a ton more of nutrition. These are all empty calories in the chips. The nuts are full of all kinds of things you need. But if you just eat nothing but a ton of nuts, you're going to gain weight, right?
Quarter of a cup is your limit.
Okay, good. But boy, thank you.
You're welcome.
Really good. Let's
I'm
get
glad you like them.
Back to the phone lines, and we're going to talk to someone that I know is a healthy guy. But every once in a while, he's got to indulge in the barbecue ribs. Am I right, Tony?
Yeah, that's right.
I knew it. Okay, go ahead, my friend.
Well, there's a lot of ignorance out there. Of course, we all know that.
Yeah.
I don't think very many of us eat actually healthy as we could.
Sure.
We can eat healthier. And the more educated you become, the more you realize I can do better.
Yep.
I'll say this, and I'll give people some encouragement out there if they'd like it.
Sure.
I ate as unhealthy as a person possibly could for years. I mean, I don't know anybody that ate more unhealthy than I did.
Give me an idea of like what a typical meal for you would be.
Well, if I went to McDonald's, I'd get 2 Big Macs, a quarter pounder with cheese, 6-piece McNugget.
Wow.
You're a big
the
guy.
largest drink back then, of course, doesn't compare to the super-sized drinks they have now, but a large drink, which would have been about a 24-ounce drink.
Wow.
No, yes, and I like Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, worked a lot. I burned a lot of calories.
Okay.
And when you do that, your body is more forgiving than somebody who stores it.
Yep.
And what people don't realize is when they eat all this stuff, it stores in your fat. Those chemicals store in your fat, and they stay there indefinitely until you lose that fat. What really makes me cringe is when I watch these shows on television where they'll lose 100 pounds at one time or 200 pounds at one time. It's just unfathomable how much chemicals is released in that fat all at one time and attacks your body, can attack your organs, can shut things down. I'm really surprised that they don't have people drop dead during these competitions.
Oh, you're saying the idea is you want to lose the fat more slowly so that your body kind of seeps that stuff out on a long-term basis.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I hadn't heard that.
Society.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a society. We want things now.
Yeah, you're right.
We do.
And we want to lose it. We want to lose it now.
Sure.
And that sounds good at face value, but when you get to the specifics of it, your body can't tolerate the release of those chemicals all at one time. But I'll say this: it seems overwhelming when you look at it and you say, "I want to lose 100 pounds." It looks overwhelming.
Yep.
But when you take it a step at a time, baby steps, if you will, and you say, "Okay, I'm going to lose 5 pounds this month. I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year." You didn't get there overnight. It's not healthy to get back there overnight. So once I broke my addiction to sugar, I jokingly, but not really jokingly, refer to sugar as the other cocaine.
No doubt.
It really is. They replaced, when they took Coca-Cola and they took the cocaine out of Coca-Cola, they replaced it with sugar and caffeine.
Yeah.
So it's not really a joke. It is very, very addictive. And once I haven't had a soda in 8-10 years.
Wow.
Once I broke my addiction to that sugar, I didn't want it anymore.
Well, real quick, what was it that made you decide to make a change? Did you have a health issue, or did you just decide, I'm tired of feeling this way?
Well, I think the real $1 million solution that I have for people is it's a change of attitude. To me, God gave me this body, and He says take care of it. You truly value your car, you're going to take care of your car. So why wouldn't you take care of your body the same way? If you're truly thankful for the body that God has given you, why wouldn't you develop the attitude that I'm not going to do anything that will knowingly damage it?
Okay, you know what? And listen, thank you for your call. That's an awesome call. His analogy is great there with the car. And do you agree? I see people who take better care of what they put in and care about their car, and they love their vehicle, and they baby it, than they do their own body.
I use that analogy in my presentations all the time.
Okay.
And yes, we will spend, if you drive a high performance vehicle and you put regular gasoline in it, once, it may not affect it. But if you keep doing it over time, that high performance car is going to knock and ping and have engine problems and not perform at its peak. Same thing with our bodies.
I was just wondering what the mindset is that you think more. I mean, you'll see some just awesome car that's been babied, and then the guy that gets out is smoking and drinking a big soda and is way overweight and unhealthy. And I'm like, gosh, well, look at your car, how healthy it is. Why not do that for yourself?
Well, I mean, you're getting into a big psychological hornet's nest a little bit. It's emotional. We have emotions connected to what we eat. As a kid, you know, your mom always baked cookies and rewarded you with sweets, and so now you associate sweets with doing things good that make you feel good. So it's getting into it really is a lot of what I do is breaking down the psychology of why you don't take care of yourself and what's at the root of making you eat those cookies that are sitting in front of you when you really you're not hungry and you don't want them, but they're sitting there and you eat them. So he brings up, he brings up so many wonderful points, and congratulations to him, to Tony, for the efforts that he's made. And I completely agree with everything that he said. And it is true that when you are fat and obese, there's a lot of toxins that are stored in your fat. Not only toxins from what you eat, but toxins from the environment. That's where they naturally go. And so when you lose weight, and if you shed weight very quickly, you do want to make sure that you're supporting your system with vitamin B vitamins to support your liver. Eat a lot of cruciferous vegetables that help with detoxification, with Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, those sorts of things. And you really want to support your system while you're losing weight, because there can be a significant release of toxins into your body when you shed fat very quickly.
That fast?
Yes.
Gotcha. Let's go to Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Oh, hi, Nick.
Good morning, Cindy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. What's on your mind?
Okay, well, I just wanted to let her know that about my mother. She's on well water, which is totally awesome. Get it tested like 2 or 3 times a year, and it's great. Now, as far as me, I have health conditions which my body can't contain the sodium. So when I was in the hospital, because I had high blood pressure, they took me off sodium completely. Then they realized the sodium had gotten down to 123, so they couldn't figure it out. So guess what they did? They said, eat all the salt you want. You're going to have it. Your body, we don't understand why it burns salt, but I know it happens to other people. That I can't contain sodium. It burns really, really fast. So I eat all the salt I want, but they gave me a higher dose of blood pressure medicine.
Wow, and that's the way you are now. What kind of salty foods do you eat?
I put salt on everything.
Yeah.
I love salt,
Yeah.
but I put it on everything or I start to feel real sick. So I maintain my sodium level at about 130 compared to 121 to 123, because that's when they say, I get so weak, they say I can have a stroke. First they told me get rid of the salt, so I did.
Oh, that's weird.
Then they said you've got to have the salt.
Wow, that is interesting. Now, I'll say this. That's her, folks. Don't go crazy on salt unless you check with your doctor first, because she did say she still has to deal with a blood pressure issue because of it. But salt, look, the truth is salt and fat are flavor.
Yes, they are.
That is. It is. I guess you can say some sweets, but most chefs will tell you what is at the heart of the flavor of all foods, and it's salt and fat.
Yeah.
And so she goes that route. But do you have any salt substitutes you use? Is there anything that you find that I guess most people say if they have to stay away from it, they go with different types of herbs or spices?
Herbs and spices. There's a. I'm not really an expert on sodium. There's something called nutritional yeast, which kind of has a salty, but it also might have sodium in it. So I'm not really 100% certain. And if you are, like I eat salt. I have low blood pressure. I don't have an issue with salt. But sea salt. Don't buy that iodized white table salt. That stuff is horrible for our system.
What about the stuff, the Himalayan rock salt?
Absolutely,
that's pink?
yes.
So is that okay?
Yes,
I think
Himalayan
that's
salt.
Kind of cool. Himalayan
salt, sea salt, Celtic gray salt.
But the iodized salt, you say, is just again more processed.
It's been bleached. It's been processed. It's just bad for our system altogether. So sea salt actually has minerals and things that we need in it, as opposed to just sodium, basically pure sodium.
Gotcha. Rick, did you say we need to take another break? Okay, we will. We'll take a break when we come back. We've got Mary and other callers. If you're on hold, stay there. We'll get to you right after this with our final segment with our guest.